Here we go. Episode 3 of Do Our Taste Align. In this case, this is the third group of honorable mentions on the Katie Colson Best BookTuber Books of 2024. Let's see what I'll be reading this time. Hello, I'm Kelly Lynn Colby, Editorial Director at Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing. I'm also a freelance editor, a writer, and a reader. Today, welcome to episode 3 of Do Our Taste Align. Very excited about this one. If you watch the Katie Colson video, which if you haven't, you need to watch it. It's down below. Definitely check it. Check it out, see what the YouTubers liked in 2024. So far, our tastes are aligning pretty closely. Just one very adamant disagreement so far. So we'll see what happens this time. It's a little different than the other ones, though, because there are 5 books left in the honorable mentions. One of them is Two Twisted Crowns, but that is book 2 in that series, in that duology. So I'm not doing that one right now. It'll seem hypocritical in a minute, but don't worry. You'll see later why I'm not doing it right now. So it does leave 4 books, just like for the other videos. The next one I will be doing is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I have read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It made me cry so hard. Very excited. This will be my second one, so we shall see. All I know is that it's about women during the Vietnam War, and it's one of those multiple times. So it's kind of during the Vietnam War and then currently. And there was a show that I'm not going to remember the name of that I watched growing up. It was like early 90s that was all about nurses during Vietnam, and I loved that show. So I'm wondering if that's what this is. If so, I might be in for a good time. As in for a good read. I don't know if good time might be the proper way to say that. The second book, so the second book voted for was Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. But that is book 5 in that series. Look, man, this is a lot of fun. I like doing this. I'm not going to read all of those books just to get to book 5. I was going to skip it, but I thought, that's kind of cheating, right? I'm already skipping two Twisted Crowns. So I don't want to skip it. So my compromise is I'm going to read book 1. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Now, I've heard the main in here, they are not good people and they're horrible to each other. So I have no idea what I'm going to feel about this one. I don't know. This is one, but remember, I've had doubts and then loved the book. So hopefully that'll be the same with this one. I have doubts, but I end up loving the book. I never start a book hoping I'm going to hate it. But what's the point of that? So we'll cross our fingers. But I'm going to do this one instead of book 5. Another book I am, again, not looking forward to is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. These honorable mentions were not for me, apparently. Sally Rooney, I've not read anything by Sally Rooney. And the reason is Sally Rooney doesn't use punctuation. I can't. I would never publish anything like that. I would be so distracted by the formatting that there's no way I could get into the story. So my compromise for this one is I'm going to get an audiobook. So I'm going to get the audiobook so the punctuation will not bother me, and we will hope that the narrator didn't go crazy. I'm going to wonder if the narrator put in punctuation before they read it. That's a question I would have to ask. But so I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to listen to audio so that I can judge whether I like that one or not. And the last book I'm going to read, which is actually the first one I'm starting with because I got it from the library, is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Now, I'd never read any Abby Jimenez yet. So I went ahead and read the first book in this series, Part of Your World, which is the series and the first book title. I loved it. I just finished it. And this is from the library. So I want to dive right into book 2. And I'm extremely excited. As much as I loved that first book, I have very, very high hopes for this one. So this will be interesting. I will start it tonight on reading sprints. And when I get, about halfway, I'll let you know how I feel. All right, let's dig in. I'm on Kooky Mayhem sprints right now, and I just got to 50% in Yours Truly. I love it. They wrote the sweetest letters to each other, just getting to know each other. There is right now they're doing the fake dating thing, which I have never been quite convinced works. It works so well in this one. I'm really, really loving this book. It's hitting all the right points. It's really quick chapters, so the pacing is nice and fast. There's a puppy and a kitty that are just awesome. I love it. I love it. So I love it. This is heading quickly to a 5-star. We'll see. As I've said many times, and we'll probably say many more times, an ending can make or break a book. But as of right now, this is heading to 5-star. So I will keep you updated. Also, Brie, love. Also, Nadia Cakes. I don't know how many of y'all know that Abby Jimenez, because I'm a big Food Network, like, follow chefs, love these food competition kind of thing. That's my jam. I love that stuff. And Nadia Cakes is how I first met Abby Jimenez. Not in real life. I mean, in the social zeitgeist, in the, zeitgeist of pop culture, when she competed in Cupcake Wars. And she was wonderful on that. And I didn't know, that was actually first, but I didn't find that till after Cupcake Wars, is when she was making those cakes with little gem things, and one of them looked like a vagina in the cake, and it was like the pink color and everything. And so all of it just hilarious things. Like, that is what I knew her from first. And I had never read, her books came out after that actually, and I had never read any of them yet. Well, Nadia Cakes, her bakery, is referenced in this book and the previous one, by the way. But talking about it in this book, just, it cracks me up because it's one of those, I don't know, very meta kind of things. And that stuff makes me happy. If I was anywhere near in Minnesota where they are, I would definitely go to Nadia Cakes and get some just to support even extra because it's so fun. And then she mentions another burger place in here, and now I'm wondering if that's real. So I should look it up and see if that burger place is also a real place. But I love that, those little cookie things in there that if you know, you know, and it makes me happy. But yeah. All right. I'll let you know at the ending what I think. I have no props for you today. I finished Yours Truly, and I loved it. I was so full of enthusiasm because I borrowed it from my library on Libby, so my ebook copy. And I was so excited, and I had so much fun. Like, I returned it immediately to the library. So I have no props. I was like, the next person must read it now. It was so good. I adored it. So that is 2 books in the same month by Abby Jimenez, and I'm a huge fan now. This book it wasn't just the romance. The romance was beautiful, but it wasn't just that. It was the anxiety representation and the way you watched his brain work with his anxiety that he was dealing with was so realistic. And she made him so empathetic. Like, if you were ever wondering what was going on with, your partner or your best friend or somebody like that who suffers from anxiety and is trying everything they can to just, live, you could see how that kind of brain functioning works and how difficult it makes things that might be easy for someone who doesn't have anxiety, which makes somebody who doesn't have it be like, why don't you just do it? That kind of thing, which we hear a lot for people with neurotypical brains. Just do it. I even say it sometimes because I can't help myself because I'm part of this society, but I do understand how hard it is. Just sometimes you get frustrated. I get that. But there is no just do it, right? You have to find ways around the way your brain works in order to do the things that you want to do so well, the things you are capable of, and to watch him do that. And she was dealing with, I almost want to call it PTSD because she could not get over what happened in her past relationship. She thought that was the love of her life, but he was in love with someone else. And she couldn't get over that. She could not make that not personal, right? It really had nothing to do with her. But she didn't see it. She thought she could be his everything. And so she was like, well, what if I'm wrong again? So there was a miscommunication between these two that was the most believable I've ever seen in my life. Miscommunication is the trope that I despise. I have never seen it in a way where I was like, I believe it. That could totally happen. Based on the life experience of these two people, the miscommunication that was keeping them apart, made perfect sense. That's genius. If you want to know what it is, read the book. You want to read the book. It was so good. But 5 stars. Obviously, 5 stars. So good. Now, off to Intermezzo. Intermezzo is next. I did get the audiobook because I am a little terrified of Sally Rooney's writing style. Litfic is a hit or miss for me anyways. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I'm like, why did I read this? Sometimes I'm angry. If you want to know why, check out the video from the last one of these. Very, very angry. Very angry. So I have no idea what I'm going to feel about Intermezzo. I am about to do a lot of cleaning, so I will be probably finishing my audiobook. So I thought I would log in and like give you an update because I'm about halfway already. I'm reading Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I chose the audiobook for this because there's no quotation marks in her work, and as an editor, there's no way I'd be able to concentrate on the story. It would be like working and trying to fix all the things, and I just couldn't do it. But I'm really glad that I am reading it because it's actually really good. I'm enjoying the characters. I'm fascinated by them and what's going on. I like them all. I like them. They are complicated, real. It just feels like a real experience, like talking with a friend. I like Sally Rooney's voice and the way she is creating these characters. I see why she is so popular. I completely understand now. It is litfic, so it's not like a whole lot is happening, right? It's really an exploration of people who are lost trying to find their way. But I don't know where it's going. That's pretty common for me in litfic since there's not exactly a plot, right? It's more like a slice of life kind of thing with 3 characters, 3 POV characters. Obviously there's more characters, but 3 POV characters, 2 brothers and a woman who runs she's a manager of a venue that has like, poetry things and the chess. That's why Ivan came to the chess thing. He's the younger brother. And so she runs that. So we've got her POV. She ends up being a lover to Ivan. Happens right away. I've spoiled nothing. And Ivan is the younger brother. He is socially awkward. I don't want to say he's on the spectrum because that is actually discussed in this, where maybe you should have some kind of condition that is diagnosed, but he doesn't have any diagnosis. So they actually talk about it in the book. So I'm not sure exactly, but definitely a little socially awkward, but a true analyzer of not just like chess and games and stuff, but also human behavior. And it's fascinating. And then his older brother, Peter, who is a lawyer. And so you have all of these people trying to figure out where the heck they belong in this world. And it's, sad and beautiful, which is exactly what litfic is. So I will keep reading it, probably get it done today, and I'll let you know what I think. All right, off to chores. No idea what happened, but we did go to 2 big cons in between one video and the next one. So I'm going to say that's what happened. I forgot to record an ending to Intermezzo. In the end, I liked it. I gave it a 4-star, but will I think about it ever again? No. Am I going to run out and get another Sally Rooney? No, it was fine. And I started Magnolia Parks. So let's see how that is going. Hopefully this sounds not too bad. It's 4th of July, so there is a lot of activity going on all over the place. Running around, screaming children, fireworks. Okay, I don't hear fireworks right now, but it'll be soon. Also today I'm wearing a JCPenney 2017. I don't know. I just feel like I should say, since I'm reading Magnolia Parks, I should tell you what I'm wearing. And I bought it and I don't remember. It's been a while. But Magnolia Parks is very concerned about what people are wearing. Very, very concerned. But I'm halfway. I mean, I am intrigued by what's happening. But I don't actually care about anyone it's happening to. Is that weird? it's like everything that's happening to them, they're doing to themselves. They are choosing to be dramatically miserable. They are wealthy beyond anything I can compare. Magnolia's godfather is Elton John. What more do you need to know? I just they get you. I guess when you have any problem you have can be solved with money, that you have to make up other problems. Now that is the human condition, though. We all somehow or another try to be miserable. At least it feels like that, doesn't it? So we always think whatever we're going through that's causing us a problem is just the worst thing ever. And they're children, so it's hard for them to see anything beyond that yet. I mean, they're not children. They're 22 and 24, up to 30, depending on the person we're talking about. I don't know. Am I going to finish this book? Yes. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to finish it. Am I going to read the whole series? No. I can't make myself care that much for that long about people like this. I don't know. If I was younger, maybe it wouldn't bother me so much. But in my age and everything we do, where most of our problems, not all of them, because we are also human, but most of our problems would be solved with money. I can't. I just can't. I can't. You have everything in the world. Why are you just making yourself miserable? And that's really what they're doing. Especially young. They don't even have any responsibilities. They don't have any children. They don't have anything else going on. Now, Magnolia's parents, at least, are shit. So at least she has some kind of reason for her insecurities. But BJ's are great. At least his mother is. Like, so why are... Can you see I'm at a loss of words? I will say, however, I do understand why it's popular, especially with younger readers, because anyone who likes things like, the Real Housewives show, or, any of those like bachelorette shows, and any of those kind of reality shows where the drama amongst their relationship is the reason you watch the show, and they do outrageous things for the emotional effect on each other, even if they're not kind. Maybe even more because they aren't kind, that kind of thing going on. If you like that kind of show, if you eat that up, this book you will eat up. You will love every second of it. Those shows are not for me. They don't entertain me. So they just make me sad, which quite frankly is what this book's doing too. It's making me sad. I almost just want to sit down with these two and just talk to them. It's like that's really what they need. They need someone to sit down and just talk to them. By the way, they can afford therapists. They could be doing that. It's okay. I'm fine. But, so we'll see. Do I know what I'm going to rank it yet? No, I don't. It's written fine. It's written from Magnolia's point of view and BJ's point of view, which are the two main characters, the two love interests. By the way, there's definitely not a romance. I don't know what to call it. Contemporary fiction. But anyways, between those two, the perspective is very different when Magnolia's talking than when BJ's talking. That's really well written, right? They have character traits, character quirks, those kind of things. Their motivation makes sense for the way they see reality. I don't have trouble with the writing. I'm not sure these are characters I want to spend more time with. So it's really that simple. And this is for fun. We don't have to force ourselves to do it. But we'll see how I feel at the end. Who knows? Something might happen. And I'm like, no, I must read all of it. I doubt it. But it could. I've been surprised before. I could be surprised again. So we'll see what happens. I'll catch you on the next thing. After the big barbecue. I mean, it might not rain. I don't know anymore. All right. Catch ya when I'm done with this one. Finished. All done. It was actually a pretty quick read, even though this is weeks since I started it. I'm finished. It was a pretty quick read, even though it's been weeks since I started it. But that's because I had to set it aside. There were so many other things going on. But I got back to it, and once I dived back in, really, really quick read. I enjoyed the writing. What I did not enjoy were the characters. I mean, come on, man. All the torture they're putting themselves through. They're putting themselves through. And after all of the drama and all of the nonsense, a little bit of spoiler, but not a ton of spoiler, because this is romance, right? Not exactly. Not the traditional, like not the HEA, happy ever after kind of romance. I have a feeling this book was too long and she had to cut it. And by cutting it, first of all, she got the two people together in a completely unearned way. It was completely unearned. There was no reconciliation. There was no fixing. There was no, talking to a counselor. There was no epiphany. They were just, oh, look, we're together again. And then when they broke up, it was melodramatic only. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. And so and it wasn't satisfying the way it happened. I'm okay with knowing as long as it's satisfying. It was not. I was like, oh, look, more of the same thing. And that's really what the whole book is. More of the same thing. There's no growth. There's no development. There's no change. Characters don't learn anything. Their world doesn't change. People around them don't change. I don't know why I read this book. Not for me. However, if you love things like The Real Housewives, which I think I might have talked about on my mid thing, if you like those kind of shows, if those are for you, this book you'll love. You will eat this up. So that might be why it was so popular with the YouTubers, that the YouTubers that loved this so much, maybe that's what they like, right? That's the kind of TV they like. That's the drama they like, which no judgment on that. I'm just saying, I don't care what you like. Please like what you like. It doesn't hurt me or anyone else in the world if this is your jam, right? It's just not my jam. So this book didn't work for me. I ended up giving it 2 stars because it was written fine. If this author decided to write something else, except it also turns out there's a whole lot of drama going on with this author right now. I am not in the know, so I'm not going to discuss it. But I don't know why anyone is surprised that there's a lot of drama going on with this author when this is what she writes. As much as writers try to separate themselves from their work, which we do, we're not writing about us specifically, but we can't keep who we are out of our works completely. So, do I know Jessa Hastings? Nope. Don't know a darn thing about her. Do I know details about the drama going on? Nope. Don't know. But there shouldn't be any surprise. No surprise. I am sad though, because the writing was really good. I like the way she really dived into those characters. I feel like I really, really understand BJ and Magnolia. I just don't have any empathy for them. All right. See, so you can totally understand something and still not care. Sorry, Orson Scott Card. Sometimes. All right. So I'm ready to move on to the last book for this blog, and that is Kristen Hanna, The Women. I've read one book by Kristen Hanna, The Nightingale, and it broke me. It was beautiful. One of my top books of all time. It was so well done. I watched Firefly Lane. Did not read it, but I watched Firefly Lane. I didn't know it was a book when I watched it. Hadn't heard of Kristen Hanna. Not heard of, but did not connect Kristen Hanna with the show I was watching. And that one also broke me. Very emotionally traumatizing. So much so that I have no intention of reading the book because I know enough about the story now. I'm good. I don't need to be tortured again. We're fine. So we'll see this third, adventure into Kristen Hanna's historical fiction. We'll see if I am traumatized yet again. And the only thing I know about this is that it is women nurses, I'm pretty sure, from Vietnam. And I believe it is just like those other 2 stories I mentioned, where it is the women in present time and what happened, that pivotal moment in their past that's now reflected in the contemporary current time that we're experiencing. That's it. I know nothing else. So we shall see. It's not huge, but it's not little either. So we'll we shall see what I think as I dive into it. I'll let you know when I'm about halfway. I'll give you an update. Wow. I'm halfway through. I love this book. I love this book. It has made me cry multiple times, but I still, or maybe because of that, I love this book. Kristen Hanna has a way of making you feel like you are there. She doesn't describe like every detail of anything, right? Like you're not bored out of your mind. I don't know why authors think you have to describe every detail to make it feel like you're there. It's the emotions of the character that make you feel like you're there. And Kristen Hanna nails it. It's just incredible. I mean, I grew up loving MASH. I grew up loving China Beach, that show about the nurses in Vietnam. And so now that's what this is, right? It's a privileged girl who she goes to school to be a nurse anyways, but really she's just supposed to find a husband kind of thing, right? Very typical 1960s, especially with, privileged white girl. But her brother goes to Vietnam and her father's like, heroes. These are all heroes. And she's like, she wants to be a hero too. So she takes her nursing degree and she volunteers for Vietnam. Whew. I mean, it's so moving. And I think we talk about World War II so much. Some people forget, there were other experiences as well. And plus, whenever we hear the war experiences, we get the male perspective. We get what happened with the men, what they felt, how they recovered or didn't. This is from the woman's perspective. We don't get enough of that. And I'm so grateful for Kristen Hanna for being out there and giving it to us. I am at the point where she's been in Vietnam. Look, she's a nurse in Vietnam. I don't know what else to say. Read the book. Read the book. And now she's home. And remember, this was different than any other war that our country had been in to date. And since, nothing's been like that, where the soldiers, when they came home, they were not respected. They were spit upon. They were called baby killers. There were all of these horrible things that they were called for being in a war they didn't want to be in to begin with. It's just incredible. It's just incredible how real this feels. And I don't know, I haven't gotten to the end yet. I don't know if there's an author note. I don't know who Kristen talked to, if there were people in her family, I have no idea, but fantastic so far. Moving. So hopefully I'll survive all of this, and I am only listening to it. Can you imagine being there? Man, sometimes we really just don't give enough credit where credit is due. Impressive.
to tackle such an important and complex subject. I didn't feel I had the skill or the maturity to...
Ooh. Man, that was tough. It was beautiful. She did a great job. All right. That is 3 times Kristen Hanna has completely wrecked me. Twice in book form. Once Firefly Lane I watched on Netflix or wherever it was. But wow. I have to say something. I was waiting for something to happen, and it happened. I knew it was going to happen. Set up that way. And I'm like, she's trying. I'm old. I've seen things. What can she do, right? And then right after that, when I'm feeling all like superior, like, yeah, I got your number, Kristen. She surprised me. And I was like, wait, what? Really well done. Really well done. And then this ending, it's beautiful. It was beautiful. I think I could definitely add her to my list of favorite authors, for sure. Just stunning. And again, she told a story I've heard 1 billion times, yet I've never heard it before. Because she told the story from the woman's point of view. Highly recommend. Oh. I'm going to go settle down before I do the wrap up. I guess I've done all 4 books for this now, but I'm going to need a moment. So, 5-star. 6-star, if I could do that. Wow. I think I've calmed down enough that I can discuss my thoughts on all 4 books altogether. Like, as a collective. So as a quick reminder for me, this has been months. So it has taken me quite a long time to actually get to these books because I had other books that were a higher priority. It is what it is. We're doing the best we can in this world, right? I'm still quite enjoying this process because I am discovering books I might not have prioritized, right? So doing this still prioritizes them. I mean, not all of them were pleasant, but let's go over that real quick. The first one I read was Yours Truly. That was on ebook and loved it. I went ahead and read the first book in that series too, Part of Your World. So I read that book and I read Yours Truly. Loved it. Those were my first Abby Jimenez books and I am a fan. I look forward to reading more. It was just sweet and it wasn't simple. I don't know. I guess I liked that. There was just as much talk about mental illness and overcoming that as there was falling in love. I kind of like that there was more to it than just the typical beats in a romance. So Yours Truly, loved, 5 stars. Next, I listened to Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I listened to it on audio. See how clever I am? I'm going to avoid punctuation altogether. It was just like a slice of life kind of story. And with 2 brothers who were estranged, who didn't exactly have healthy relationships with their parents, hence not exactly healthy relationships with each other or anyone else they loved. I mean, the chess involved was, it was just one thing that the little brother really liked to do. But everything else, the different relationships, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm glad I read it. Am I a Sally Rooney fan now? No. Do I feel like I need to read any more or do I want to know anything more about these characters? No. But I did enjoy my time with it. So I ended up giving that a 4-star. Some of that might also be because it was an audio and the Irish accent was delightful. Third book I read, that one I did read physically, but like I said, I already donated that one to a little free library. And it was Magnolia Parks. Now, on this list for, the BookTubers favorites of 2024, Magnolia Parks Into the Dark was actually on it, but I hadn't read any of them. So this is not completely fair, I'm sure. But I did read Magnolia Parks. So not really for me. I don't like that kind of making my life harder to make it harder kind of things. Like, you're not, why are you even, I don't understand it. I also have trouble with, like, poor little rich kid kind of stories, which is exactly what this was, right? And doesn't work for me. I'm not into it. I might have been when I was younger, but right now I definitely have no tolerance for it. I just don't care. If I don't care about the characters, then I cannot get into the stories. So I gave that 2-star, and I will not be reading any more of that series. I do see why it's popular, though, because anyone who really loves that drama, they're going to dig this series. But for me, it's not. And this is all about, do my tastes align? With this particular series, they do not. The last one I read was The Women, the one I had to just step away from to calm down before I could come back and film this conclusion to the video. Fabulous. I would give it 6 stars if I could. Loved it. It might be my favorite one so far that I have read in this challenge. So 5-star. So that is 2 5-stars, a 2 and a 4, which makes the average for this video, which is the last honorables, that is an average of 4.0. So that's not bad. 4.0 is pretty good rating. If you look at the total average for the entire thing, all 12 books that I have done so far, my average is a 4.17. I think that's pretty much aligned with BookTube. I think I can trust their recommendations so far. I do have 12 books left. These are the ones that actually made the list. We're done with the honorable mentions at this point. So we shall see if this holds up. 12 more books, so 3 more episodes, and I will have final conclusions. It's looking pretty good so far. The next 4 books are number 11, We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. That's book 2, right? Read book 1 earlier in this series. James by Percival Everett. I've been dying to read this one, so I'm very excited. And a chunky one, The Will of the Many by James Islington. Those will be the next 4, so we shall see what this all brings me, what this comes to. What were your experiences with these books? Did you have the same thing? Would you have ranked these as the best books of last year? What did you think of them? Did you like Magnolia Parks? Just let me know. It might just be me, because it is hugely popular, but so just let me know what you think about these books. I'd love to hear what your opinion is. And if you've read them, did it align with booktubers in general? And I'll see you on the next video.